Are we on?
We are.
Okay. So we did our project on Restore, the Habitat for Humanity store, and we all did it in the East Euclid location. So just a little bit about the Restore. Habitat for Humanity is nonprofit. They don't have any taxes on anything in the store. They're a Christian ministry organization established in 1976. It was built to help individuals have a decent and safe, affordable home and place to live. It also helps people with low income families. It can help towards that as well. They built the store where direct funds contribute to Habitat Humanity and help everybody, different race, religion, color, gender, physical or mental disabilities. When we were working with different people, some of them were just employees there, some of them were volunteers that turned into employees, and some work for AARP. So there's a variety of different employees that work there too, a variety of different customers. Like I said, all different backgrounds. So with the help of workers and volunteers, they're able to sell household items, new and used items, to help build homes, communities, and hope by putting God's love into action. Any other history, you guys?
Yeah, so, well, just with that, all the proceeds from the Restore also go directly towards helping fund the housing and building houses, and not only just giving them houses for free, but they make them or help them along the way with learning how to manage their household, how to deal with taxes and property, things that you wouldn't normally think about or wouldn't know if you've never owned a home, and just helping them along the way with all the different things that go along with home ownership.
And I found interesting that they're with 1,400 communities across the U.S. Before volunteering here, I'd never heard of the Restore at all. I'd heard of Habitat Humanity, but not the Restore. So it's across nearly 70 countries, which is interesting, and has helped more than affordable shelter.
Yeah, it's really cool. I've heard of the Restore, but I didn't know what it had to do with Habitat or how it helped with them at all. I knew that it was a store and it was cheaper household items and stuff, but I had no idea what the purpose of it was.
Right.
Yeah,
or that the funds went for that.
You know, they've got so many stores all over the country and other countries too, but I learned that like the East Euclid location is like parts for houses and building houses, but the one in Ames is like bedding and more furniture based. So they each kind of help with different things that go into building a house and having a house.
Oh, that's cool. They serve different purposes.
Yeah.
So yeah, social issues it helps is people with lack of affordable housing and homeless are the two major concerns. More than 40 million Americans families find themselves in a situation where housing payments take up more than 30% of their income, making it nearly impossible to prioritize their food and health. So we went to, through school, we had to go to a simulation at Drake where you're put in a group of students and you have kind of your role that you have. So my simulated family had, our father was diabetic, so he was unable to work. He had another disability, so the mother was the only source of income, and then two of us were the children, so we went to school, and they kind of had to prioritize, like, do we spend money on the bus to go to work? Do we go to work instead of paying for childcare and leave the kids at home? So it was kind of interesting to see how many millions of Americans are living day to day, and we chose like paying the rent over getting groceries and different things like that. So that kind of connected to this as well. Also, I found that people without homes are at much higher risk of infection due to poor hygiene and unsafe conditions. So their attempt is to make the homes safer, if not doctor them up.
Mm-hmm.
And they have built more than 250 homes in the Des Moines metro area. That's what their website said.
Yeah, that's cool. And it's also not just the building new houses or providing families with houses that are like brand new, built from the ground up, but also helping repair, like you touched on, repair houses so that they're safe and livable conditions. If they already have a home, to help them fix it up so that it's up to standard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and kind of going along with that, they have that tool library, so you
Yeah,
don't have to buy all of the tools because those are expensive too, and that's kind of not something that they probably would want to be spending money on when they've got other things like food to,
Right.
spend. But
yeah.
Idea.
With the pictures that are on there, you can see that we worked in the hardware aisle most of the time, and it was quite a job. We organized a lot of the screws and different. You can see some before and after pictures of what the shelves look like before we worked on it, and then organizing and tried to make it a little bit easier to find things that people are looking for and make it look organized.
I think every time we came in, there was like 50 more boxes that needed to be put out too.
Yes.
So it's nice that they always can get that many donations too. But,
I
yeah.
even learned that Lowe's donates stuff sometimes that isn't selling at their store. They donate it for cheaper, so it's not a waste either.
Cool. Yeah, so with our project, our three main goals were to build a strong rapport with the people that we were volunteering with and the people that were coming in the store, and just being able to create a relationship with those people and maybe listen to them for their life story if they wanted to, which I got a couple of those. And just being willing to listen, you could tell that they are really appreciative just to be able to have someone to talk to and just hear about their life.
Yeah,
And then
even
another,
encouraged to like talk to the customers when we were having like some downtime or some slow time. He told me to go up and just talk to them, and not only does that like make them feel important, but also makes them, I guess, kind of buy things in a way, which ends up helping others in the community too.
Right.
yeah. And then the second objective for our project was to help develop in ourselves a love and passion for serving our community and the people that we live and around and with, and especially those that are in need of housing and um, other daily needs. Then our third objective was to just build awareness for ourselves and then the people that we talk to or are around of the issues that our community specifically goes through and the homelessness that is really prevalent in our area.
So, adjusting our approach to build the strong rapport with the individuals. The workers at the restore I thought were so easy to get along with, and from the minute we walked in the doors, they were very welcoming and outgoing, and thankful too for our volunteer work. But we were pretty much given the tour and put to work right away, and yeah, it was a lot of organizing things, but Sometimes the customers like would mistake us for employees, and so to like help with that, I would just take them to an actual employee, and just they probably know more than I do. So
towards the end, we were starting to realize, like, oh yeah, I think it is over there in whatever aisle. Like, we were get the story out. And one of the workers was extra appreciative of us, and she sent us a shout out to Zach. And so I got an email from Zach saying I could come pick up a homemade Christmas ornament for.
Did you say that?
Yeah. So yeah. That was kind of cool. She really appreciated our help.
Was that PJ?
Having another girl in the store, I feel like she was the only. Yeah. She got picked on.
She said if we ever need a job, we should come back.
Yes.
For the second objective.
What'd you say? Your career goes downhill. You can go to the restart.
Yeah. I told her. So the second objective was to develop a love and passion towards serving those in our community. We accomplished that objective by performing the servant leadership characteristic of listening. I think like a few of the workers at the Restore, they're part of a program where they work for 2 years, and then there they can learn to do basic repair skills and earn an income, and then they can eventually become eligible to get their own home through the organization. But I think this grew our passion towards serving others because it shows like the character of the people who might be struggling right now, but they're willing to work and like improve their conditions. So that was pretty inspiring. For the third objective, that was kind of addressing how to fix some of the problems that we have right here in Des Moines. So I did some research and I found that nearly 12,000 Iowans are homeless, and that was as of 2016, which is, that kind of blew my mind. That's a lot of people. But we learned that we can address that issue by donating items, buying the items at the Restore, or helping to build them in the summer times when it's a little bit warmer out. So I think it's kind of cool that the Restore tackles all of those. Just you can donate, you can buy, or you can build all through one organization. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and if you like the idea of Habitat, but you're not physically able to help, you could still help in the store, which is still making an impact too. So
right. There's so many ways to help just the issue, so that's cool. Yeah. Oh, let's see.
For the project that
I posted the pictures on the PowerPoint of all the paint cans, and I'm OCD, and so I love doing that. I liked facing them the right direction, putting them all in order. That was fun for me. Although I was crawling up in the shelves half of the time, way in the back.
Yeah.
Just to get them out.
So yeah, it is crazy they have that many different kinds of paint at the store. I know a lot of those were donated too, but yeah, they have a ton of different.
The core values that I found through Habitat for Humanity were knowledge, compassion, and excellence. We obtained the knowledge to know what the materials are needed to provide a sufficient home, like we talked about earlier. I took compassion to like listen to other stories and to give our time. And I think the employees have a lot of compassion too for what they do. And then this project connected to excellence in that it strives to teach their workers how to support themselves financially in order to provide for themselves long term. I like that it's not a handout, basically, for lack of a better word. So.
It's a hand up, not a handout. And there are just a few more pictures of what we were helping and organizing. On the last day, I also did paint with like you, Bailey, but we had to like find all the labels and put them on the correct one with all the right sheen, like eggshell or semi-gloss or whatever. That was interesting. They're all mixed in.
They all look the same too.
Yes.
And I feel like the Restore workers are pretty lenient too. Like if something, it was supposed to be in huge amounts of bulk and people only wanted like 2 slabs of it, they would
They
help
accommodate what they need.
those.
Yeah. I learned quite a bit about servant leadership through this project, and just serving through the restore, um, and just what it means to serve our community with all of what you have. Um, we worked pretty well together, I'd say, in whatever task was set in front of us, and um, just trying to do our best to accomplish what needed to be done. Um, yeah, and like we talked about earlier, the passion that all the workers and volunteers have, for the restore specifically and for Habitat for Humanity, it was pretty cool to see. Um, and just observing their heart for what they do and their passion was pretty cool. And it was awesome having the interaction the with both of the volunteers and then the people that came in, and like we were talking about before.
Yeah, I met a couple other Mercy students in different programs too. I met a girl from healthcare administration. She was a hard worker as well. She was fun to work with, so that was good.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah,
learned,
volunteering with a lady that just got out of jail and had to get hours in after. So that was interesting hearing her life story and where she was in life and how she got to where she is today and what she plans on doing differently.
mhm.
Kind of cool too.
Yeah, I had a girl I volunteered with one day that she was doing it for probation purposes, but it was just nice that they support that too and kind of get them back on the right track. So
Mhm.
And I know PJ, the employee, has a medical condition which kind of, she exacerbates on random days. So they're really lenient with her too on the days that she does have a flare up that, maybe she'll work the register instead of helping in the aisles. And oh yeah, they're pretty great people.
they accommodate a lot.
Yes. So I learned importance of putting others before yourself. We get caught up in everyday life and forget how blessed we are. Um, Sometimes I complain about things in my life and then have to take a step back and be like, well, it's not really something I should be complaining about. I still have food, shelter, and necessities. And um, yeah, so a lot of people in our community have it a lot worse than we do. Um, so volunteering just kind of makes you feel better too that you're helping out your community, people around you. And like we said, yeah, it didn't matter if you were, doing probation hours or working through Mercy or an employee, everyone got treated the same and they're all really welcoming and they were excited to see us when we came and remembered our names. So that was kind of special too. Yeah, they had great teamwork and they worked well together, worked well with others. Like you said, they had a passion for working there.
I think like organizing the shelves and the stocking, all that, it's very like meticulous and tedious, and they do it every single day, and they really don't get tired of it because they know like what the end result can be. And I even got to go like behind the scenes, back behind that curtain. I don't know if you guys did that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There was just stuff everywhere, and there's people cleaning the supplies, and there's people organizing it and sorting it, and
The guy fixing the washers and dryers in his little like
yeah. And then as you go outside that building, there's buildings behind that with even more materials, and it's just there's a lot to do, and people are donating all the time, and so I was
It's cool that they
inspired by the
put
way
it
that
and put it to use right away. Like,
right,
get donations in and it's already on the shelves and
and they've got the system for it, so
great.
it really does work. But it was cool to see
Yeah.
all that. But yeah, I think it just inspired me to be more aware of other people's situations, and like you said, thankful for what you do have because
Mhm.
it could always be worse.
Exactly.
Um, and I think it could be easy to get sidetracked and discouraged, I guess, after doing that over and over again, because it is tedious. But I think even though it's not directly helping somebody, in the end, it is. And I think that's what gets those workers through day to day. So,
Yeah, I noticed that whenever we organized or did the week before, if it was something like putting all the screws in the right place or organizing doorknobs or door handles, that the next week we came in, it was all a mess again. So it's not something that you do once and then it's done. Like it's a constant thing that you have to keep up with. Otherwise, it would be a disaster. And they do a pretty good job at keeping that up.
Yeah. Not like a normal hardware store where there's a lot of miscellaneous items that you kind of have to dig in order to find stuff. And it's nice that they have the same employees there. Like, oh yeah, I did see that. Like a lot of the times, like, oh yeah, I did see that, so I'll go find it for you. And
yep,
nice.
very helpful.
Anything else to add, guys?
We hit our time.
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
Until next time.
Bye.